Eat more tortilla, Amos advised, trying not to laugh. Bread cuts the heat better than water. I tried the tamales myself and found they were excellent. Not nearly as hot as good curry. So Carter was just being a wimp, as usual. Soon we'd eaten our fill and began wandering the streets, looking for, well, I wasn't sure exactly. Time was a-wasting. The sun was going down, and I knew this would be the last night for us all unless we stopped Set. But I had no idea why Geb had sent me here. You will also find what you need most. What did that mean? I scanned the crowds and caught a glimpse of a tall young guy with a dark shirt. A thrill went up my spine. Anubis? Wait, what if he was following me and making sure I was safe? What if he was what I needed most? Wonderful thought, except it wasn't Anubis. I scolded myself for thinking I could have luck that good. Besides, Carter had seen Anubis as a jackal-headed monster. Perhaps Anubis's appearance with me was just a trick to befuddle my brain. A trick that worked quite well. I was daydreaming about that, and about whether or not they had tortillas in the land of the dead, when I locked eyes with a girl across the plaza. Carter, I grabbed his arm and nodded in the direction of Zia Rashid. Someone's here to see you. Zia was ready for battle in her loose black linen clothes, staff and wand in hand. Her dark choppy hair was blown to one side like she'd flown in on a strong wind. Her amber eyes looked about as friendly as a jaguar's. Behind her was a vendor's table full of tourist souvenirs, and a poster that read, New Mexico, Land of Enchantment. I doubted the vendor knew just how much enchantment was standing right in front of his merchandise. You came, Zia said, which seemed a bit on the obvious side. Was it my imagination, or was she looking at Amos with apprehension, even fear? Yeah, Carter said nervously. You, remember Sadie? And this is Amos, Zia said uneasily. Amos bowed. Zia Rashid. It's been several years. I see Iskandar sent his best. Zia looked like he'd smacked her in the face, and I realized Amos hadn't heard the news. Amos, I said, Iskandar is dead. He stared at us in disbelief as we told him the story. I see, he said at last. Then the new chief lector is Des Jardines, I said. Ah, that's bad news. Zia frowned. Instead of addressing Amos, she turned to me. Do not dismiss Des Jardines. He is very powerful. You'll need his help. Our help to challenge Set. Has it ever occurred to you, I said, that Des Jardines might be helping Set? Zia glared at me. Never. Others might, but not Des Jardines. Clearly she meant Amos. I suppose that should have made me even more suspicious of him, but instead, I got angry. You're blind, I told Zia. Des Jardines' first order as chief lector was to have us killed. He's trying to stop us, even though he knows Set is about to destroy the continent. And Des Jardines was there that night at the British Museum. If Set needed a body... The top of Zia's staff burst into flames. Carter moved quickly in between us. Whoa, both of you, just calm down. We're here to talk. I am talking, Zia said. You need the House of Life on your side. You have to convince Des Jardines that you're not a threat. By surrendering? I asked. No, thank you. I'd rather not be turned into a bug and squashed. Amos cleared his throat. I'm afraid Sadie is right. Unless Des Jardines has changed since I saw him last, he's not a man who will listen to reason. Zia fumed. Carter, could we speak in private? He shifted from foot to foot. Look, Zia, I agree we need to work together, but if you're going to try to convince me to surrender to the house, there's something I must tell you, she insisted. Something you need to know. The way she said that made the hair stand up on the back of my neck. Could this be what Geb meant? Was it possible that Zia held the key to defeating Set? Suddenly, Amos tensed. He pulled off his staff out of thin air and said, It's a trap! Zia looked stunned. What? No! Then we all saw what Amos had sensed. Marching towards us from the east end of the plaza was Des Jardines himself. He wore cream-colored robes with the chief lector's leopard skin cape tied across his shoulders. His staff glowed purple. Tourists and pedestrians veered out of his way, confused and nervous, as if they weren't sure what was going on, but they knew enough to clear off. Other way, I urged. I turned and saw two more magicians in black robes marching from the west.